Welcome back for part 2, folks. Thank you for coming back. So I believe I was on this page. She did ask for lots of writing space on this book. So you have, I think it was just over 160 pages for writing. And I hope that I've been able to provide some interest on the blank pages so that your book is pretty to look at even when there's no writing there. It's a little vintage stump and some machine lines again. This is a very beautiful little vintage book. That when I was buying it, the lady in the charity shop or the thrift shop said to me that they're not actually allowed to sell those books because it was a bit damaged. But she said that she couldn't bear to throw it away. So they have to go for burning apparently, which is a really awful thought. So it made me feel a bit better about pulling vintage books apart, because if we're using old books to make new books that we know are going to be loved, I think that goes a long way to justifying what we do. So this page here is tracing paper, so I've done some inks to look like tree bark, I hope. Just coming out very dark on the camera, it's not quite that dark. So there's some transparency there, and I've done some, might see easier on this side, some stitching. Along there. Oh, I was talking about this book, so this little book, in case anyone wants to look out for it. It's very, very beautiful paper, and every page has got a little vintage illustration. They're so pretty, but as you can see, so she said really they're supposed to burn these, which is horrible. £1. But thankfully she couldn't bring herself to do that. Nice lady. So there's our little friend jumping into his burrow under the ground. Do hares live underground? I don't even know. Possibly. Rabbits do, don't they? Not sure about hares. Some more collaging. There's a little index here about mushrooms. That has some muslin and dyed papers. So here's the other side of that barky page. Here's another handmade paper clip. Transfers. So this is holding a little, another envelope. Some more of that lovely red stitching. And inked papers. And I can show you that paper clip. So this one has a little jump ring from the middle. It's actually not very easy to see that because you can see the back at the same time now. That's it. So it has a little jump ring with a little berry hanging down. That's the other page from that little vintage book with a beautiful barn owl and a little owl on the back. I really love the way this eco die has come out. This really does look like sunshine coming through. And the silhouetted plants, really beautiful colours. These yellows are from the plants themselves. So I've stitched all around here and made that into a pocket at the top. Some machine stitched lines here, so nice to journal on. Little fox friend. I think there's something, I think that was a nest or an egg. And another envelope. Decorated with these vines, so it's a little pocket with a journaling card. This is a collector's tea card and some collaging. This is a handmade stump that I've made for this journal. And on the back, more writing space again. Another one here, so more collaging and another collectible card, a little owl sticking out on a vintage illustration, just peeking out the top. And there's a little fabric tab with another hand-carved stump. Journaling card, and then I've stitched here on the machine a little trail for the butterfly, which is a double layer. For the library I've chosen Little House in the Big Woods. Sorry, I think you can probably hear my washing machine. I forgot to turn it off. Another hand-carved stump, poppy head. Another Walt Whitman quote, I really love this one. A little crow up here on a branch. This is more eco-dyed fabric, so I've just sewed this strip down the side of the page with these lovely leaf transfers. And here at the bottom I've tied these 3 little beads. Whoops, just try and get that in focus for you. And I've tied them so that there's a little knot just above the bead. So if you want to do that, it just gives them a better dangle action, as you can see, so they're not stiff on the on just if you had a loop of cotton there. So what I did was stitched into the paper and made the loop to put the bead through, and then wrapped around just at the base there, wrap around. So that you're making a little noose, and that gives it a really nice little dangle. So I thought that looked quite sweet with the wooden beads. Oops. More journaling cards, and more journaling cards here with these again with the little bugs on. I looked it up, it was ChikUna who does these. See the little dung beetles there, they're really pretty, and she's got these lovely flourish up here. So here's another handmade paper clip with some berry beads. And that's the back. Here's our bunny trailing off. Here's a poem about a daisy. There's a tip in. So again, this is eco dye, and if you start experimenting, or if you do already, you may have noticed this. This is similar to the effect of the negative transfer from earlier, but as you can see, it's gone round the edges. So this leaf here, although it's different kinds of leaves, but this leaf is how it would normally eco dye, so you get the print almost of a leaf. But this is the reverse of the leaf, or the front of the leaf, so one side you'll find always dyes better. And what's happened here is that the reverse has acted as a what's it called, a resist, and so the ink has seeped out from one side of the leaf, but it hasn't penetrated into the middle, so you get this lovely effect where it's just gone out from the edges and just resisted the shape. So it looks pretty cool. Some more transfers here. Don't seem to be able to get in frame this time. Okay. This is a autumn leaf that I've dried for a few weeks, and I don't know if you can see, I've got some gold around the edges, some gold paint rub, which looks really pretty. And some more transfer up here. I love how this page came out. This is such a pretty image, sweet little face of this fairy, and beautiful colours. I've done some stitches here. This is a pocket, so there's a journaling card here. The inks on the pages make it look as though the whole thing is up in the trees, I thought, and some really lovely effects there. Dictionary definition, there's a little bee stamp and some more stitches, kind of vine shapes. This one I thought especially was like early morning mists. I love those colours. And this slightly hazy image looks so beautiful. On this pocket here, I've made a pocket here with a kind of a thick spine to give you room for a little notebook inside. So I just did this. This is sorry, just a page from a wildlife book, and just very plain. There's quite a few pages here. So that's a nice thick pocket so that you have room. And I thought that this was kind of just made it like a disposable notebook, so you could just replace that very easily if you need more room for notes. So that just keeps in there with a paper clip. Little quote from Midsummer Night's Dream. And she mentions that she gets visited by raccoons sometimes, so there's a little raccoon here, which I'm sure the old lady of the woods would be happy to see. So more little vintage journaling cards. Oh, sorry, my kitchen timer as well. A little bunny. So they've all got different stamps on the back. And that is the end. And there is a wax seal for my shop, SW, and that is over a little dried specimen. And so all that remains now is to show you the charms. Let's just get untangled here. Okay. So, with bearing in mind the little cottage in the woods, also not complete without a little cat. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. Little golden mushroom, toadstool. This is a very sweet little cuckoo clock with a little dangle thingy, I don't know what these are called, at the bottom, and a spinning wheel. Sorry, I've got glue on my fingers. Probably see little bits of it. A bunny, a little birdhouse with a birdie on the top looking down, acorns, a little gold pine cone, and this is my favourite one. Oops, sorry. I've done this like a kind of a twisted vine with berries coming down, green berries. I think that came out really pretty, with a little leaf on the bottom. And I'll just show you one more look of these lovely leafy pages because they're so beautiful. So I think that that's all I have to tell you. Little bunny there. Except, did I mention I really enjoyed making this book, and this is very closely connected with a new project that I'm working on. So in my next gap between custom orders, which I think might be soon, but I haven't checked my schedule, should be this month I hope, or November at least. I have another thing coming out, not like the Silk Road, but you know, a personal thing that I wanted to get out there. And with these ones that are not custom orders, I'm planning to do it so that I can repeat, you know, kind of repeat. Not what will never be exactly the same, but if anyone is interested in buying something like the Silk Road, for example, or this new thing, and I hope to have a few more ideas come to fruition, if that's the right word, soon, as I am able. So, where was that list of things to mention? Oh yeah, so I mentioned ChikUna and the number of pages I wanted to tell you, and about the new project. Yeah, I think that was all really. So, thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed this journal, and I will hope to see you soon. Bye guys.